Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Virtual Nunchucks. Hope you guys are having a great day. What is an 80s theme doing on a Kena Bridges Spirits video? Well, I wanted you to see the beautiful game that is Kena Bridges Spirits, and I also wanted to talk about some 80s stuff. The 20th. I see, that's not even a word. That's the second time I've done that today. The 20 hardest games on NES. We're going to talk about the 20 hardest games on NES. A lot of these games I have played before. All of these games were the hardest games on Nintendo at the time, according to this article. I will share it in the description below, but I will also send it on my Twitter account. You guys can take a look at it. Let me know in the comment section below if you played these games, if these games were hard for you as a kid. And I'm fixing to date myself because every single one of these games, with the exception of a few, like Friday the 13th, which is on this list, and Castlevania 3, I played the first one, but not that one. I've played all of these games just about, so let's get started. Coming in at number, no particular order, the first one on the list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I gotta tell you, it was the most fun game I've ever played as a kid. I actually owned every one of these games and finally beat them all, but the first one was ridiculously hard. The inventory system, at least for me, didn't make a whole lot of sense, and the fact that you had limited weapons kind of sucked, but that was just me. It's just hard. It was crushingly hard, offering a lot of stuff. They threw a lot of enemies at you and stuff like that, and it's just ridiculously hard. Ghosts and Goblins. I never played well, I take that back. I did rent it for like a weekend. But this one I did not own because here's why. One of the biggest problems is that when you get hit twice, I believe it's twice, you die, and then you get sent back to the beginning, and it sucks. Okay, it was hard. I played it for a weekend and was like, screw this, I'm done. Coming in on next on the list is Battletoads. Now, a lot of people even now will tell you that Battletoads is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ripoff. I think the game was unique in itself. Completely. But the bane of everybody's existence back in the day was the speeder bike level. Everybody knows that. It was the hardest thing in the world, and God, I hated that level. Anyway, so there's that. Silver Surfer, I never played, but I do know people that did, and I can tell you that they were complaining about it at the lunch tables at school, let me tell you, because they were like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It is considered the toughest game in history, it's basically impossible, it says. For whatever reason, the people made this game based on the Marvel comic character decided it had to be perfect. Or you had to be perfect. If you are hit once by the constant barrage of enemies you face, have to start the whole game over again. Every single time. So basically, if you got hit, you died, and you had to start over, which sucked. That would totally suck. Mega Man! Oh my god! Mega Man was so cool, but at the same time so freaking hard. Between the robotic enemies and the constant platforming, and if you missed if you used your little robot dog the right way, you could do certain things. But if you just were off just a little tiny bit, you died, and it was irritating. But at the same time, it was so fun. I have never beaten a Mega Man game, but I've played almost every one of them. One of these days, I'm gonna do that. I swear. All right, so. Next on the list is Punch-Out!, and oh my god. Okay, I can burn through Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Even today in like record time. I can sit there and do it in like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, maybe, if you're lucky. But by the time you get to Mike Tyson, oh my god, he hits you once, you're down, that's it. And if he knocks you down 3 times, you're done. A lot of times you didn't even get a third time, you only got 2. So yeah, it was so wrong and so hard. And to this day, I've still not beat Mike Tyson. Let me know in the comment section below if you did finally do it without cheating, because there is a way to cheat. Without cheating, did you do it? Because I knocked him down in the 42 years that I've been alive. I've knocked him down twice. Just knocked him down, and he got back up and killed, and you know, basically kicked my butt. Alright, so the next one on the list is Bart versus the Space Mutants. Now, this is a Simpsons game. It was not a very popular game, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the controls were a mess. I can remember this as a kid thinking it was me messing up and screwing up and everything. But it's not. It's not. It's simply because, well, the controls were a mess, and the inventory system was a mess. And to be honest with you, those stupid purple things that you had to paint, or spray paint and everything was incredibly insane. Everything purple, I think you had to spray paint, or it might have been everything that was red. You had to spray paint purple. I can't remember, but I do remember that you had to spray paint a lot of stuff. You had to use X-ray specs, and it was just a mess. But the Simpsons were huge back then. They still are. So not surprising there. Now, the next game on the list I did not play. I do know friends that did. Castlevania 3: Dracula's Curse. I played the first one. It was incredibly hard, and I said, no, I'm done. I'm done with the stupid. Sorry, that's my phone. Done with the stupid game. And I never played this one, but yeah, you have to go back to the beginning once you die at any point in that battle, boss battle. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Now this one I did actually own for a long time. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Now this is kind of crazy because it was a unique game. You had side-scrolling levels, you had first-person shooting levels, you had driving levels. It was ahead of its. God have mercy with this stuff. All right, sorry guys. I'm gonna turn down my phone. But you had all this stuff like that you could do, but it was so hard because the enemies weren't like hit them once and twice and die. It was like hit them 6 and 7 times, and there was very limited resources and limited bullets and limited ammunition. It was insane, and it was hard, but it was so much fun. And the reason I think I enjoyed it so much was because of the different variety that you had in the game. Ninja Gaiden. Can we talk about Ninja Gaiden? Ninja Gaiden's been hard since its inception. At 8 or 10 years old when I played my first one, the first one on this list actually, I swear, this is the one game I think that made me want to break my controller and break my television and rage quit for the first time. Because it was so hard. It was so cool, but it just, the platforming and then the enemies and then it's just so hard. I hate it to this day. I have played other variations of Ninja Gaiden since then, but it's just so freaking hard and it irritates me. I rented this next one as a kid for like a weekend. Fester's Quest. It was Addams Family spinoff Uncle Fester, and if you die in Fester's Quest, you have to start the game from the beginning. The Addams Family adaptation was so hard. Look, the controls were kind of at the time, but it was finicky. The game was just downright confusing. And I remember as a kid thinking, this is just as crazy as the show or the movies, because it doesn't make sense. I played it for a weekend and said I'm never picking it up again, and I didn't. Now this next one, Friday the 13th, I never played it. I did have friends that played it down the street, so I watched them, and they got irritated with it, obviously, because it's just hard. The mapping system was hard, but also, I've been wanting to say this for a long time. Since when did Jason, and they say it in the article, well, since when did Jason wear purple? A purple tracksuit, I'm just saying. So there's that one. Yo Noid, the Domino's Noid, and I played this, again, it was one of those rentals, and it was okay, but the controls were a mess. It was just a confusing game, and it was so frustratingly hard. It was a platformer, and it was based on the Domino's Noid, so you had pizza. I just remember it being ridiculously hard and unnecessarily so, because it was a platformer. And your enemies were harder than they should be, and the only way you could survive was on Domino's pizza that you found throughout the level. It was just stupid. All right, the next game on the list. The Karate Kid, and who in the 80s did not want to play or want to be the Karate Kid? Oh my God. I remember playing this game and being in training with Mr. Miyagi, and at some point in time, I remember going, Mr. Miyagi, you suck. And why? Because, every level is hard. The first one is hard, and the first one is like a very basic training level where you're trying to break ice or something. I don't even remember. And it was just so hard to get the timing right and the control. It was just stupid. But dang. I remember trying and trying and trying and trying to play this game and just becoming more and more frustrated. And I had a rule in my house. If my parents said if I got mad, I had to quit playing. Well, I think I played it for an hour and stopped because I was so mad. So there's that. I love the movies though. I'm just saying, love the movies, but the game sucked. Double Dragon 3: The Sacred Stones. Oh my god, I remember this game. And I love Double Dragon, but like oh god. I will play the first couple of games any day of the week, but Double Dragon 3 there was no balance. Everything was so difficult and it was just overly difficult. And I remember playing this game and getting frustrated, and again probably getting in trouble and telling me I had to turn it off and all that kind of stuff. This one I never played. Actually, the first one or the second? I don't think I played the first one. The Final Fantasy #1 I don't think I played. I think I played 2. But it was an RPG. Obviously, it's been an RPG forever. Randomized battle sequences were a mess. Eventually, they figured it out, but obviously they have figured it out because it's been around forever now. But this one I never played. They're saying that the inventory system was a mess. The battle sequences were crazy. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of Final Fantasy 1 on NES if you played it. Top Gun. Oh my god. Okay, so again, an 80s kid wanted to be Maverick and wanted to fly, and we got a chance. We had Top Gun 1, we had Top Gun 2. Believe it or not, where they actually made a sequel of Top Gun video game before they made the movie that's coming out. Loved both of these, by the way. But I have to say that it was ridiculously hard because you were tasked with flying and blowing up like nuclear subs back in the day and all these kind of crazy stuff. And it was so hard because obviously if you got hit too many times you died. That's no big deal. But there were just so many, and it was all in first person. And I do remember that in the first one especially, you had to land your plane on the aircraft carrier, and if you didn't, you actually died and could crash your plane, and that counted as a life. Plus there was in-air refueling by a tanker, and that was a hard thing to do. They were kind of trying to go for realism, but dang, it was so cool, but at the same time it was so hard, and I got so tired of seeing pull up on the screen that I wanted to cry. Anyway, but I still played both of them. I loved them, and the second one actually had split screen versus. You could fight one another. It was pretty cool. Alright, Blaster Master. I never played this one, and I don't remember this one, but according to them, it says add one to another one that has the quality but is way too hard category. Apparently it had a bunch of levels and stuff, but it was just hard because of the enemies and stuff. I never played this one, so I don't really know this one. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys did. Contra. Now, Contra I played. Contra, thank God, had the cheat code where you get 100,000 lives and you could play forever. But it was so hard. But it was so cool at the same time because they had, third-person levels and side-scrolling levels and on-screen co-op. And it was just so cool. And there were so many different things you could do for this one. Zelda 2. The Adventures of Link. And by the way, I did finally beat Contra, just for the record. But thank you for the Konami code. Otherwise, probably not. But Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Zelda 1 was hard enough. But Zelda 2, I think I played this one over a weekend. And let my brothers play this one because I just knew I was going to scream and probably die. And my parents were going to ground me for life. They thought that the game was too easy the first time around, so when they came up with a second one, they just made it a little more difficult, and I don't know why, because the first one, at least in my opinion, was hard. So I have to ask my brothers about that. But those are all of the games on this list, and oh my god, let me know what you guys think of this list. Was it a good list? Do you think these were a little too easy? or did they get it right? But those were the 20 hardest games. I'm going to do it again. 20 hardest games on the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the day. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys played any of these. What was your favorite one? What was the one that wanted you the first time you rage quit? Let me know all that good stuff in the comment section below. If I helped you out, drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new, because we do stuff like this all the time. Gaming content, whether it's news, reviews, opinion pieces, or silly stuff like this. We also do gameplay. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And we will see you in the next video. I'm going to finish this game, Cannon Bridge of Spirits, and get it reviewed for you guys. It's so much fun, but there's so many puzzles that I just want to scream. But at this point in time, we'll talk about that later. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.